All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the meeting of the Newbury Historical Commission to order at 7:10. Everybody grab your minutes from the last meeting. I think it's the same crew here this time.
I apologize, you didn't get them sooner.
I forgot all about the little green combination committee thing. That's why I was sleeping so well. Any corrections, omissions, or errors found in the minutes?
Wow,
Nope.
it's not that long.
I'll entertain a motion to accept. Oh, Lon's still going.
It's okay.
Just let me read this part that's about me.
I kept trying to squish it. It was, one line was going on the third page. I'm like, no. You must be able to squish this some.
Okay, thank you.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes as written.
I move that we accept the minutes of the March 13th, 2025.
February.
No,
February 13th,
Yeah, it's messy, isn't it? I told you, we have to stop being another 13.
2025, meeting as written.
Second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Well, wait a minute.
Oh no, did you see something?
It says March.
You're looking at the
It's-
treasurer's
Oh,
report.
treasurer's report, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I had already moved on, apparently.
We love you.
Another year older and deeper in debt. Okay.
Speaking of
Okay.
the treasurer's report,
Treasurer's report, go ahead and start with your story.
Well, not going to be much of well, I guess a lot's been happening, but let's go over to the report first. And the way Jan and I talked about this, and a good way to show this. So I'm showing that we believe that for our three accounts, I've got the balances here. So we believe that we still have a special account with $3,456.67 in it, but bottoms the records as they appear at the town hall, which shows us zero in that account. I haven't received an update since December from them for some reason. I've been worried too much about the special account and haven't called them and said, hey, I didn't get my updates. But so this is based on 31 December 2024 account information from them. I have no reason to believe that anything else has changed. I also met with Eva, the town accountant, and I met with the assistant, and I talked to Tracy, and so it looks like the money's gone. You can see it was there if you look at the handouts I have. you can say that it was there when I got my email with our 3 accounts on it in October. So October 31st, it was still there. So if it was removed and put into free cash, it wasn't removed on the books.
Yeah,
So they changed that balance afterwards. I only have 2 reports from my December, which this is based on. So I'm basically, when I called about that, they said it was gone. It was gone to free cash. So.
So to move that money, wouldn't they need a vote at a town meeting?
Yeah, I think we discussed that, right? Which I
that's
think is silly.
what Jack pointed out.
Yeah. I don't remember that being voted at a town meeting, and I don't miss
Well,
those.
because apparently, if you heard Lon last month, there's a report that he signs to keep it there.
It's a request.
Oh,
I request to have it transferred
Oh, and it
over
went to
into
the
the
wrong
next
email, that was the
year.
whole.
Yeah.
And I
So
did
if
that
you
the
didn't
first
respond
couple
to it, it
years,
just
and
defaults,
then,
yes.
Oh, okay.
yeah, and then after that, I just went in and said,
Yeah.
you're gonna transfer it over. They said yes, and so,
Okay.
and so it got
Yeah,
transferred
because
that way.
it's just kind of a strange thing, and it is the money that's left from the 375th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the problem with that account, I thought, I've got to always go in and request that one. In other words, I'll get the updates on the other 2 accounts, and that one's always missing.
Yeah.
And then I go in and I get it, and
I mean, does
and-
it make sense
and
to
it
keep
usually
it in its
doesn't
own
get
account? Should it be with the gift account?
No,
It has to be in its own?
it's supposed to be separate because that's
Yeah.
what it was. It was the money left from the 375th, and it was put in our care, apparently.
For the 400th?
400th.
Like we were just immediately?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
so we
my
pitch into
assumption,
that.
is that this would
Part.
be at least seed money to get started on the next one, which, as we know, is
Around
going to
the
be
corner.
coming,
Right.
you know, but, so,
Might take us until then to get the money back.
So, where are we now?
so we
going
have
forward?
to, so I was trying to get on the warrant, and apparently I was told it was too late, but I couldn't go to the meeting last night. Jan went to the meeting last night, and it looks like they plan a couple more meetings
Tuesday.
on what will be on that at the town meeting.
Yeah.
So even though I've been told we're too late,
We might not be.
Still be
it
discussed.
apparently isn't too late to get on that. So I don't know how we get on that now.
All right, exciting.
I requested, and I went to Tracy's assistant, Joy, and she called Tracy and said she says it's too late. But then Jan went to the meeting, and they're still putting it together, so.
I don't understand.
it was just delightful at 5 minutes of 10 when it was over.
Yeah.
Well, it's a month away.
Tuesday
You can't
evening.
take-
Yeah, it's just too bad it couldn't have stayed where it was.
Well, there's a deadline,
Yeah.
apparently of December, there's an artificial deadline
I
or
know.
something in December that you're supposed to have all your stuff on by then.
It still
But they're
seems
still adding to it
But
now.
last year it was January, now
Yeah.
it's November.
Well, the fact that they're discussing it doesn't mean they're adding to it. That's the thing, you know.
They were-
The fact that
they're-
they're discussing it doesn't mean they're adding to
Well,
it.
they're like
They
approving.
might have a.
Well, they're
right,
approving
right.
stuff.
So they
Yeah.
probably have one deadline for submissions and another
Oh, maybe
deadline for
that
approval.
could be two.
So they can, in between, they can deliberate,
Yeah,
you know.
that could be two.
Yeah, and then they'll be deliberating at the next finance meeting on, I think, why is it April 8th?
That makes sense, because isn't the meeting usually like the end of
Well, the
April?
question
No,
is,
not
can we
that
get
meeting.
on the selectmen
This
agenda?
Right.
That
bring it up.
meeting is, the annual town meeting is April 29th.
Do you want to try to get a message to one of the selectmen or the chairman of the select
Is
board?
that, what is the official way of getting on their agenda?
The select board agenda,
Mhm.
I would contact the select board's admin.
Okay. And that is, or.
Motion.
I don't know, they keep moving bodies around, I can't keep track of the names anymore,
Yeah.
like, but it's the same person that,
Oh, it's somebody at town hall,
Yeah.
not on the select board.
no,
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I went to Joy to see if I could get on.
yeah. Just try her, you can try her again.
Well, I did, and she called.
I sent a
Tracy.
letter to Tracy, an email, and said, we need to know what's going on with this and what we've got to do to get it on there because it shouldn't have been gone.
Yeah. That's definitely a
Even though
contact
we
to
didn't
human
follow the rules.
conversation.
Well, the problem is that they didn't follow the rules all these years, so suddenly now all the rules are back in place. It's kind of a
Yeah.
just catch can,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned.
Right, and they had the wrong email from me when
Right,
when they
and I've
said, are you
now-
gonna move this?
I have sort of loudly reiterated that the town gave us an email account and maybe they should use it.
Yeah,
Instead
Yeah.
of sending things to individuals,
Shucks.
like his old
Right.
email that does, what if he was in the hospital?
right. What if he
What
died?
What if Channing was
Yeah.
was incapacitated and couldn't check his emails?
Right.
So that means nothing gets done because they're not using the official one,
Right.
which you can also get on. So there's at least two of us that can look at that email account.
It is funny because they just gave us all new emails. So it's like, you'd think that they would be trying to.
But it's not new. The only thing that's new is the ending.
No, but I'm just saying, that you'd think that they'd be, you know, a little bit fresher about using
Yeah,
the
they're fresher,
town
all right.
Well, is Bill our liaison? We don't really have a liaison.
for the selectmen.
Hmm.
That's a good question.
I mean, he came to two of our meetings, he knows all about this, he sat through when we talked about it. We should
Use
contact
use
him.
him.
We've got his email, right?
We have to.
Yeah. Sure.
All right.
I could reach out to Alicia.
You reach out to
I
Alicia,
think more eyes on it, the better, personally.
Yep.
we'll reach out to Bill.
I gotta remember how to spell his name because I know DeMayo's that spell it totally differently.
Right.
Is he A-I-O?
Good question.
And I printed out an email, and I was getting ready to forward it to you, and I ran out of time. But I printed it out, and apparently it's in my, out of my outbox on my printer. But it's the email from Eva, basically summarizing the fact that we didn't respond, and it had been transferred to free cash, and that we would have to get it back at the next town meeting, and get on the agenda. She sent me that email, which I don't believe you were CC'd on either.
No.
I was
This seems
getting
to be
ready to
part of
send
the
it to you, and I couldn't remember. I should have sent it to you
So now I'm going to send
personally.
another email. I will send an email to all of them saying, please,
Yeah.
use the email that you gave us so we can make sure that the people who need to are receiving the
Yeah.
emails. I mean, you know, what if your computer's down?
Just, it's
I
better
mean,
to have it
it's,
so
one
more eyes
person's
get
out
on it.
sick.
Yeah.
How is that gonna help?
Well, you'd want it in your records anyway, right?
Yes.
Otherwise, if it's just to me, and then I flush my emails, it's gone. You'd want it
To
in
me,
the
it just
official
makes
records
sense.
anyway.
There's a historical commission email account given to us by the town, and
Use
it's
it.
at, you know,
And it's secure.
It's active.
newburyma.gov, or whatever the new thing is, then why don't we use it?
Yeah.
Silly me.
100%.
Yeah. Well, somebody could send an email and say, I need to get in touch with Channing, can you please make sure he contacts me?
Right.
It
I
wasn't
don't-
that many years ago that they contacted us about email security and that we were all supposed to be using the town email system and not using our own emails.
Yeah,
Oh.
so,
Touche. Okay,
you know,
moving on.
All right,
Or is there more? No, right?
Well, this is just showing you kind of the documentation, that, you know,
Yeah,
this
completely.
is, and let me look at this. This is November, so I received our December budgets, and I only got two. And you see the November, there were three.
Right.
So and of course, that's what prompted a call in the first place and started this whole thing. Sorry about that, everybody, because if I filed the paperwork this week.
well, it just goes to show that, you know, there's a lot of new people and new things are happening and, you know, people- obviously people need to make sure that
Slip through
the
the
old
cracks.
protocols have been updated.
Yeah.
So it's easy enough to happen, and it did. So now we have to move on to fixing
Getting
it,
it
not
back.
wondering how,
okay.
right?
Right.
Next, lawn on the Lower Study Green
Oh,
Committee.
my.
Yep, you're up twice.
I didn't bring it, but I can just tell you where we are. So we're not going to make this year. we had the document ready to go. The person that we were sending it to Mass Historical left. The person they handed it off to says it's going to take 2 months. We're not going to make it then. So we decided that this might be a good thing because it gives us,
So
other
just
we're
goal
crowding it in,
26.
trying to get the word out, get everybody attuned to what's going on, hold a public meeting. I'd rather hold 3 public meetings in the 3 different places, but hold a public meeting and then bring it in for the vote. And this way we've got time
Yeah,
to do it. We've actually got time to do it right and get out there in front of people.
okay.
So
Good luck with that.
that's kind of where we are. So it's maybe by now mailed off. I can't remember what the exact status was. And okay, yeah.
Well,
That's-
sometimes we have a fall town meeting also, so
Yeah, if
No.
there's a fall meeting, that might be good too.
we'll see what happens.
All right, and you're working on, under that subject, seeing how other towns handle
Yeah.
the dual committee system.
And there's,
Yeah,
so I've ordered something from Mass Historical Commission, which is it's a document. They won't, I tried to get online to it, and I need some kind of a code word to get into it. But I can request it, and they'll send something out to me. But the research that I did do, it looks like everybody does it different. Brookline has got a local historic districts, and they've also got a historic commission like we do. But they've invented something called the Brookline Historical Commission. Hang on, that's not what they invented. Brookline Preservation Commission, which then has like we reinforce the bylaw, okay? The local historic district commission should enforce the local historic district, right? And we're talking about maybe just save time and money and whatever to combine those two together. What they've done is they've taken the enforcement of those exist, but the enforcement goes to the Preservation Commission. So they've done it that way.
They made it even more complicated.
They made it more,
Yeah.
well, the fist or whatever
Yeah.
is in one place.
Yeah.
But now there's 3 commissions though.
Right.
Yeah, right. It's just the other people move things around and these people enforce it. And then, hang on. Which one? Oh, Amherst. Amherst has done it, how did they do it? Hang on a second. I've got to look it up here. So they've got a demolition bylaw, they've got the commission. I guess they do it independently, right? So they have a separate local historic district commission and a separate historic commission like us, and they do their own separate ones. I actually
And we have a
haven't found one
That has
that
the
does what
membership
we're
is
doing,
dual.
but
Well, ours is still separate, it's just the same.
yeah,
We're gonna close the meeting
right,
and then everything is gonna be separate,
right.
but it's still the same members.
I was trying to find out how many other places do this. One of them went into this big discussion on because it's hard to find people and getting volunteers and efficiency that this is the way we should do it, but then they don't say whether they do it or not. So I didn't get an answer
Well,
on that
the
one.
big question is.
But Ellie's says that they're out there, they are our person.
They're doing this, but I keep bringing up is if all 6 of us, do we all have to be there? And what happens if
Yeah.
once our membership changes, then we still,
Right.
how does it actually operate when it's running?
Well, then can that group have, like if I wasn't here, can this group then adjourn, reconvene as the local district commission, and then somebody walks in the door that lives in the thing, and they're part of that commission. In other words, there'd
Could there
be
be
one
an
extra
alternate
person,
person? Yeah.
or something like that. And do they?
I don't see why not, right?
Yeah, and the, hang on. Yeah, they've got 4, City of Newton's got 4 of these things.
See, they're
And
big.
they're all separate.
And they have huge districts too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we're tiny, excuse me, tiny compared to a lot of these cities and towns around us.
Here it is. So, okay, yeah, Brookline has 7 regular members and 4 alternate members.
Can't even get 7 members.
But they're the ones that, this is the Brookline Preservation Commission, right? So they've got 11 members on that,
Good
regular
gravy.
and 4 alternates.
We need to find smaller communities.
Yeah, yeah,
How are they dealing with it? Like West Newbury or, you know,
yeah.
Groveland.
yeah. Rowley,
And
maybe.
their
or-
term lengths are 3 years
You ought to look at it, try
and a
looking at
20-year limit,
look at a smaller town like
Yeah.
Hamilton.
yeah.
Should be able
They
to
have a
see it
commission
on
and a
their,
district.
and their websites, the town websites,
Let's look at them.
you know?
Yeah. Hamilton didn't come up when I was looking for both of them. They have both?
I think
Yep.
so.
Okay.
Yep. Yep, and I imagine Wenham, do they have a
Probably.
district?
I would think. Do that?
What about Ipswich?
I don't know, actually.
I just
If
think
you would think,
Yeah,
Hamilton,
you would
Ipswich,
think
They're
downtown,
all one
but
word to me.
like,
Ipswich, Essex.
but downtown.
Yeah.
Essex doesn't have a district.
No.
I'm surprised the Causeway hasn't been. but-
Rowley was in there. I found Rowley when I was looking around, but they didn't have much
Rowley?
information.
Raleigh?
They've got I think they may just have a historic
Well,
district.
Ipswich, Hamilton, Ipswich,
Who did we go to?
Ipswich.
Ipswich.
They have like,
Yeah, 8. Yeah.
mega.
Yeah, Rowley's may just be a historic district.
Yeah. I definitely know the signs.
Yeah.
Driving past the signs.
Yeah.
Boxford.
Well, I'll keep looking and
What does
see what
Salisbury have, I
this
wonder?
document that
They're not-
that I
I mean,
ordered is.
Like us, we might be bigger in land,
Because
but not in humans.
But I'll start it with Hamilton.
Yeah.
I'll talk to them. How are they doing it? So that didn't come up
Okay.
in my search.
Good luck.
Okay.
Okay.
We have a year now, so.
Yeah, you get 10.
All right,
Maybe
next
6
is
months.
the
Me.
website report. Is the town hall under control yet?
Every time I go there, it seems a little discombobulated. It's just my personal opinion.
Well, all the moving didn't help.
No, and it's funny because, you know, I have to go past the gatekeeper at the door now, which always makes me laugh. She's always
I,
doing things.
I
other
told
than
her
what
she needs to put a sign on top of her desk that says what she is. Because everybody walks in the door and thinks she's like the old person at that desk was, but she's not. She's conscom and building.
Is she supposed to like check to see who's in the room?
No.
Because every time I walk by, she gives me like such attitude, like, who are you when I'm
Well, I
here? And
think
I'm like,
that- well,
I'm just here to grab the
She's,
camera. I'm
she's
obviously
nice
on the-
as pie.
Well, she doesn't
But
come across
I
that
think
way.
she feels like
It was
she
very
needs
nice when I
to keep,
returned the camera.
she needs to keep track, like, because people walk in and then they come back out and go, where are they? Because I think she's trying to see,
Right.
who are you going to see now? Oh, if you go out the door and down the hall and around the corner now, it's faster.
Yeah, and you could
Which
just,
that makes
I
sense.
would have thought that'd have been locked off.
Well,
You could just go in the
my
back.
point is, she's always behind a locked door whenever
Correct.
I go there. So I knocked twice, nothing, and then I emailed him, and I was like, knock, knock, I'm in the hallway, can I grab the camera? And he answered, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, he was like on the phone. So he's always like intensely doing something
It's
whenever
still
I see
crazy
him.
because of the way, you know,
I'm sure he's trying
the
to figure out.
bodies all moved around and everybody's trying to
Yeah.
figure out where they, you know, the easiest way to get there and, but
Well,
they,
I'm hoping it's smoother, but
they changed the sign, but I had her come out the other day, Chrissy, and said, look at the sign. She goes, oh, I see what you mean, because it's like really the same sign. And one is an arrow that points that way, and one is an arrow that points like where she is.
Doesn't make sense, though.
It doesn't look like it's been changed. If you look at it, and you've been looking at it for how long have people been up there? You know, so they don't look anymore. So I said, you really need to like put something on the door or on
Tell
your
people
desk
know
that
where to
says,
go.
this is inspectional services and conservation, because people go and they're wandering around trying to figure out where everybody is, because there's no signs, there's no anything's up there yet, so.
that makes sense. I don't hate her as much anymore.
No, she's actually very nice. She sends us all kinds of great
I
stuff.
just don't be so defensive, but I'm here to get my thing. Leave me alone. I'm only here for 45 seconds. Walking in, walking out.
Tell her I sent you.
Well, no, I'm just like, I'm here with the historical commission. Oh, okay then. You know, wrestle me away.
Yeah.
Down the hall.
So no new changes yet.
No, other than changing our email address, that's been my.
But it's not all the way through yet. The town,
He's still
the stuff
doing
on the-
something to it.
Yeah.
I just changing what I can.
No, I mean, the whole town is still not
Yeah, I don't think so.
on it,
I'm working. He's working on it.
so.
That's
it's-
why I'm saying he seems overwhelmed.
He is,
He seems overwhelmed. I'm not gonna.
because they fixed
I'm gonna
this,
add it to
and
it.
then the printers don't work because they're glued into the one that was here a minute ago, and now you've changed it. Now he's
I
gotta go in and change all
I
the
wouldn't want that
printers, and
job.
it's a nightmare.
That's
But,
just me. I wouldn't want it.
Change controls, everything's gonna be documented.
yeah, it's just terrific, so. So that's the
Okay.
end of that bit.
Yeah.
All
Right.
right,
Code
into
of conduct. I'm sorry.
correspondence.
Oh, yeah. Well, first thing I got was on the 23rd of February from Jack, who wants to know who applied for this grant, what's the sequence of events, who did this, who did that,
Is it
and
the roof grant?
but
Yeah.
he sent it to Eva.
Yeah, but I didn't answer him.
So I replied and said, going forward, please use the official Historical Commission business email account. Don't be sending things to members, asking them things if you need to know information. That's what this website is for.
Did he respond?
Oh, no. Never
Yeah.
responded, but he wants, because he saw the article in the paper about the
Right.
new roof and all. It's like,
Is he
all
mad
the
that-
information
is he
was
mad that we
right
got
there
some
about
extra
how
money?
they got it.
Is he mad that we got extra money?
Oh, yeah,
Shows up, you shut your mouth.
Right? Thank you.
You know?
Thank you.
it's like, you just, some people just have to keep
Yeah.
poking the bear,
Yes, that's apparent.
So let's see, one of the biggest problems we have, well, not, hopefully we don't, but is there's 2 houses on High Road, which I think I sent you all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, some signs on it.
So, but the biggest problem is the one that's, well, actually, it's because it's so old, is it the Hill House,
Which one?
Night Hill?
Numbers?
right, Night Hill? Yeah,
I'm Toppin.
the one,
5, Toppin,
5, what's 5, Toppin?
Toppin.
Oh, it's the other one that's next to the church, is the
Night
It's
Hill.
Night Hill, okay. So the guy that wants to buy, apparently wants to buy 5 and 5C, I
B.
guess. B, is it the
High?
back
Yeah.
lot?
Is that dark
is it
brown?
high?
Is that the dark
It's in
brown?
sideways, yeah, I think I sent
Yeah.
you guys pictures. I thought I did, but
Oh.
maybe I didn't.
But
so.
But it's
So
a dark
this
brown
house.
with for sale sign.
Yeah, but
Got
you
it.
can't really see anything.
This one.
Except you have to look really squishy to see it, yeah.
Yeah.
But the
okay.
bottom line is, he wants to buy that house,
It's next
this
to the Black
person, because he wants both lots, because they're selling it as both lots. That's part of the problem. So he can tear the house down.
Oh, and then build a McMansion.
And it's got a B plus rating, and supposedly it was a good tear down, but it had a B plus rating. That's pretty good.
That's a
It's
nice
not
looking
on here,
old
it's on,
house.
but I looked
So
it up.
this is a 1697 house
That's
that's
insane.
got,
He wants to tear it down?
he can't.
You can't.
No.
It has
That's
preservation
outrageous.
restrictions up the wahoo.
Right, can't build out back.
Can't change the color, can't change
move
the
the
type of
cabinet in
wood,
the
you
corner.
can't,
Oh,
nothing.
so that's how strict it is. Nice.
Yep,
Yeah.
because Chrissy
It's
sent me all this
beautiful.
information.
Good.
So
I know,
has
after I
anybody told
searched
you
for 2 days to find
that he
it.
shouldn't spend his money?
So did he already
Before he
buy the
knows this?
property?
No, that's Sotheby's is selling it.
No, it was,
It's ridiculous.
well, and when I was looking for the deed, because I told you I knew there was a restriction on
Yeah.
it.
Good.
The new deed doesn't give you the Schedule A with the restriction. It just says, it just follows the deed before.
Yeah,
So when you go back to May's deed, it's all spelled out. So
well, they
this guy,
don't,
he
they don't
never- he-
replace it, they just
Well,
put
and
the new
whoever
one
was
on,
gonna buy it and rip it down and build another house didn't
Surprise!
read it,
No.
right?
Well, because people don't look at the deeds.
Well, I did.
They don't research things.
Yeah.
I read a deed, I was in signing my buying the house, signing the papers, and I had to see the property description. I read it, and the town could have put a road through my dining room.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was built on a set aside for the road.
I've heard about that.
You know, people need to, I don't know why people don't know to do that,
So-
I guess. It's something that like, if you knew it, you'd tell your kids or, you know, your friends or
Well-
something, but people don't, apparently just don't look at the deeds to see that there's something on the house. Because the realtors aren't gonna tell you this.
But is-
'Cause they wanna sell the
Isn't that
house.
where you buy title insurance, don't they research stuff like that?
You're asking the wrong person.
Well,
Me
they're
too.
supposed to, you're paying for the deed search
Yeah.
before you can even get the bank loan, and you could buy title insurance, so.
Yeah.
And if it's only one deed back, somebody certainly should have seen
I
it.
know, really.
Yeah.
So
It's just so-
should somebody reach out to this prospective buyer and tell them what the problem is with the property?
I don't know who the respective buyer is. It's
Sotheby's should be the
Sotheby's
ones
is
that
one
tell
that
them
should
But
be.
now there's a local who's looked at it?
Yeah.
Did you tell me that?
No. That was,
Property.
they didn't look at the property to buy it, they looked at the property, saw the for sale sign and freaked out.
Oh, it freaked out,
They
yeah.
were very,
I
they
knew there
sent
was,
me an
I
email.
talked to
and
May myself about
They're,
this.
they're on,
Preservation restriction.
5 Parker,
She put some stuff in the attic,
so.
too.
And the
Well,
other
she-
house
She
is
told-
is
told
right
them
next
to
to the
keep it in the
church.
attic.
That's
Like a
also
baby
for sale, but
tender
they're
and
both in
Aw.
A
the
few other
district.
things, yeah.
Not that that really unfortunately does anything,
Mm.
but they're both in the National Historic Registry District too.
Well, if
Right, that house is
Sotheby's or
protected.
Sotheby's, whatever they are,
I mean, they
if
didn't
they
say
get
you can't
notified
rip it
that
down,
there's
but they-
restrictions on it, and they
They
don't
said
tell
you
the
couldn't alter
buyer.
this and
But
that.
you can't
so
do
they're
this, you
liable.
can't do that, you
I
can't
was
do this,
gonna
you
say,
can't
I
do that,
feel
so
like
they might
that'd
as well
be
say you
like
can't do
we
it.
could send them a note.
disclosure.
So, yeah,
Print out all the documents and just like leave it.
I
in-
mean,
this-
1697, I
It
mean,
just,
really?
I feel like
I don't think I brought it.
this becomes a bigger issue once this guy buys the house.
Right,
You know?
absolutely,
And now we're into lawsuits and everything else, and
yeah.
But this is why you're paying realtors
Yeah.
to
They're just supposed to
correctly present
disclose
the
this
property.
stuff, yeah.
Now, is there a system in town to file preservation restrictions so that we can look them up? I mean, this one was done years ago, but is there a way of,
I think, I've done so many over the past few years, and I haven't done any recently, so I can't remember.
because it's
But
not even on the tax thing.
I think you,
It's nothing.
there's a place when you're looking for it that you can put it on the deeds search,
Oh, you can?
yeah. And,
Well, yeah.
when you know,
Yep.
but if you've got the address or the deed thing, or, you know, the plot, all that stuff, something.
But you
So,
think that
and you can call them.
Well, there's
and they'll
something,
help.
something from
card,
the
the
state,
assessors
because
card.
when, we get maps from the state, when we were doing the local historic district, it came in, and the houses with restrictions on them were, the lots were pink.
There you go.
I mean, so I don't know where
so
we
it's
got
recorded
it.
somewhere.
Yeah.
It came from somewhere,
Besides
right.
the,
It would be
Yeah.
nice,
Yeah,
even
well, I
on the
mean, I
tax,
know, I
the
have a
full
list of
tax
some of the stuff,
assessors
but
page.
not all
of
of
it.
Even if it was on there somewhere,
yeah.
but it's not, because I searched, there's no place to even check.
No, that's, and
In
that's
some
part of the
places, the
problem.
restrictions are on the house, and some places they're on the land.
Yeah,
Right.
this is on the whole
Different,
thing.
yeah.
So, I mean,
And the other one, I found nothing on.
nothing, yeah,
And that's a tiny lot.
I
You see how
know.
small that lot was?
Yeah.
And that house looks
This-
from the outside, it looks like it's in really nice condition,
Yeah,
so. Did I see?
hopefully nothing will happen
Did
to
I
it.
see sale pending on it? I think
Yeah,
I
one of
did.
them, and wasn't that Sotheby's too, or not? I can't remember.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
But, I mean, I'm just horrified that the real estate people aren't saying anything about,
Yeah.
I mean, I know that they want to sell the house and get the commission, but that, to me, that's just wrong.
Yeah.
And they're not like some chump change company or something.
No, that's what I was gonna say, like, that's a level of,
See,
you're not
the-
just some random new person that's
This
got a
happened to the
license.
people that bought my house
Really?
in Melrose. Big, what do you call that? Iron spike in the middle of my driveway.
Yeah, it's
Nobody
Sotheby's.
saw it, nobody looked at it, nobody noticed it.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, we've been living in the house since my mother was a little girl,
What do you mean there was an iron spike in the driveway?
where the
property marker?
property marker is. It's like, this is my driveway.
Oh.
There was this big spike, like right there in the middle of the thing. I saw it once and I went,
Pin.
oh,
Yeah,
whatever.
I've seen
I never
those
thought anything of
Surveyor's
it.
pin.
I've
But-
seen those in my woods where somebody obviously must have surveyed my
But
yard.
nobody surveyed the property when they were buying the house. I was like, Why don't people do that? I would do that.
Bank makes you do it all the time.
I never had a
Yeah.
survey when we bought our house, it was just,
Oh, yeah.
it was done beforehand.
Had to
But
pay for a
sometimes I
survey.
feel like the fence that was put in between my house and the White House is not on the right side. That's just.
Well, there you go. So the people
Yeah.
next door to me,
Here's the-
the people
here's
next
the
door lost
information.
the whole thing.
Who the realtor is.
Yeah.
I mean, the person, I mean, their phone
Yeah.
number and stuff.
Well, it's not hard to see the sign, it's bigger than life
Yeah.
sitting on there on High Road, so we're keeping an eye on some of these things, and that is because
You could
Chrissy
notify
sent me
them
this
if they don't know.
information.
Hey,
So I've got her well groomed now, she knows how to look these things up and everything, it's great, she thinks it's fun like I do to look it up, so it's good.
So there were two properties, one of them is 5 High Road. and
what was the other one? Yeah.
It's
20
right before the, if you're going up the street
Yeah,
to West Newburyport, it's right next to the church, it's way, you know,
That's
Yeah.
where.
The one right next to it,
22?
the white one, that's on the road almost.
Is that the house that Thomas Parker stayed in after he
It's
retired?
this
or
one.
he
This
died?
one?
No,
It's not, because it was.
no,
near
he
the-
stayed with Noyce.
I don't know, can you,
Oh,
say
okay.
the same light I've got in
Okay,
this
I
one? Is that the same?
remember reading something about somebody
Yep.
moved into that house after
22?
they,
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
right next to the
Yeah.
church.
Yeah.
The Nightingale
Yeah,
House.
the
When they
church is
retired.
like, is right,
the
literally
one that
right
was
next to
the
it,
church.
so.
Right.
And that's,
Nice house.
18,
Yeah, across from the,
Oh, yeah.
Across from the cemetery.
1880, it's the Hale Night House.
Tiny lot, though.
So you said the other one was the Hale Night House.
That's right.
No, the other
She
one's
said it
Toppin,
It's the Toppin House, that's why I said which
Peter
one's
Toppin,
which.
Dr. Toppin. They built that house, he was the first physician in town, and they built that house for him.
all right.
So we're keeping eyes, we're trying to keep eyes on what's going on in the neighborhood. And the only reason I knew that, as I said, is because Chrissy sent me that information and she said, that house is really old. Do you guys, there must be something on that. She printed the deeds and sent them to me. I was like, yes, you go girl.
All right, what else we got for correspondence?
Oh, let's see. Yes, this is actually from Mass His Press, which is where we should probably look for to find out about, I'm gonna put an email out there, Mass His Press. It's part of like Mass Historical Commission, and
Oh, that's probably where I applied for that thing, I mean.
it's an email, you get emails.
Yeah.
And they notify, there's all kinds of stuff, you can just scan it and dump it or whatever, but there's been some really interesting things that I found out information just by reading some of these things. So this one was on the Chuck Bass Audubon demolished a 1696 house in Natick.
No way.
Yeah. And it says owner approval, they asked, it's worth noting that local legislation process, the house could have been saved, was it visible from the public, people. Can a single building local historic district, say that 3 times fast, be enacted without the consent of the owner? That was the big question.
Oh, yeah.
So Chris Skelly at Mass Historical said, the owner approval is not needed.
ooh,
Really?
Ooh,
I was like, ooh, like you guys just did, except that I think I knew that from reading other things in the back of my head, but it's not needed for a local historic district, even if it's a single building local historic district, tracks with the way many local landmarks are established around the country. And it's just that our state law doesn't call them local landmarks. I was like, holy moly.
We could have
So
saved
the
big
establishment of a local historic district is a decision of the local legislative
Don't tell that to
body
those women, because, man,
through the local democratic process, whether it's for one property or 1,000. I thought that was like really
that's
enlightening.
interesting.
Yeah, because I didn't realize
Right.
I thought they must have gotten approval from all the people out there, all around the Upper Green and everything, but apparently they don't need to, so.
Interesting.
does that change anything for you?
No, you can't use it on the pink house anymore.
Oh, let's not start with that.
No, I was thinking of the Lower Green
Oh.
Historic District. Do you
Well-
have any holdouts that you might just rope in?
We knew we could do that.
Okay,
We knew that. We decided not to.
all right.
Because it's just going to make town hall
nastiness.
messier.
Yeah.
It's easier to be nice than be right sometimes.
Well, the next owner will go back and ask them,
Yeah.
and the owner after that.
So this next one is the gentleman that said he's he's been living in the Noyes house in on Parker Road. And he was the one that told me about the house. So
Okay.
I was like, well, that was very nice of you. Yet he could find the email.
Mm.
So that was, so 5 and 5 high, again, Chrissy had sent me the stuff, so that was a lot of mail going on about this silly thing, but it's very important, so. And then I got an email from the Cummings Architectures.
Right.
Yeah, and he just wanted to know if they could just come in anytime and sit here and talk to us, and
Are they gonna try to continue to do that project,
ferry
just
house?
not remodel the parts that,
they have not specified what they want to talk about.
okay.
Well, they were the ones who were involved
Yeah.
in the ferry house.
Yeah,
Right.
so my point is, they're probably gonna continue to try to do
Probably
something with
change
the
up the plan.
project,
Well,
just not
apparently
do
they're
that
fixing
section.
something, but they can't, what they wanted to do before was take this down, move it,
Right.
and put it back up over here, but now they can't do that.
Right.
So,
Height.
he asked for the process, and I said, I need to put it on the agenda. I have to put these things on the town website to block the meeting. So we need to know if you want to come in and discuss something, and we need to know what you want to discuss.
So
What's in
I
there, like a
wrote
week in
the,
advance before that Tuesday? You need to know like 10
Like-
days before a meeting to get on the
Yeah,
agenda?
that's what he's asking, how many days? And I'm like, well, 2 weeks would be good,
Yeah.
but
well, so I wrote the response through Jan to Cummings, it's just like the selectmen's meeting. We need to know, in order to get on the agenda, you need to tell us what you're gonna talk about. We need to decide if it's appropriate, if we've gauged enough time for it, and you may be at the wrong office. So you just can't come in and talk to us without telling us exactly and bringing prepared materials, site plans, whatever, so we're ready to talk about something. Our time is valuable. We
Right.
struggle to get through all these meetings and get everything done. So we don't have time to have an open meeting per se. So that's what we sent back to him.
and he apologized for any misunderstanding.
Oh, good.
He wanted to clarify when we need it to ensure it's on the public agenda. And I told him that, we meet monthly on the second Thursday of the month. And 2 weeks before the meeting would be great, because if we need to send things to the members, it gives them a chance to review some stuff. So,
Well, and you've got
but
to,
they
if you're
still
going to
have
notify
never
the
said
public.
what they want, what they're talking
Well,
about.
my point is he's gonna come at us now with a new plan, like the last time. but
Well,
he probably
apparently they
won't-
have more than one thing going on around here.
Oh, that's actually a really
could
good
be-
point.
could be a
because
different
I did
address
notice
completely.
his son in a different house recently, and
Yeah,
I
that's
thought, oh,
'cause-
that's interesting, he's over here now.
Yeah, because Chrissy's the one that put me on, she said, he's got a lot of, they do
No,
different
he's a
things,
good architect,
so-
so,
um,
I can see that he's dipping around town.
So I don't know what house it is, what property it is,
I'll
maybe
try to
it's a
take
piece
a
of property
picture
they
next
want to
time
do
and
they're gonna do something on it, I have no idea, but,
And how does the public know that they want to come to the meeting if we don't have it in our agenda?
well,
The
that's,
published agenda.
that's
why-
kind of the idea,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Okay,
but,
I'm intrigued now.
it's not like people are sitting there going, oh, did the historical commission
No,
post
but
anything
I'm
yet?
always amazed when we have views on our videos. I know most of them are
I
you.
know.
But everybody else, I'm like, who else is watching these?
Sometimes it's me.
Well,
I have to
right.
refresh my memory a little bit.
Okay, next.
Again, we get things, my name is, I'm a Exeter Chapter DAR registrar, I'm trying to find Moses Adams. Everybody's always asking me to find it, people's, so I have to tell them all the same thing. We are a historical commission, not the historical society, and I tell them to look on our website for the 1635, if there's information out there, to go to the, I have
Our
a standard
resources are here. I was
response.
gonna say,
Go to the
cut
Sons
paste.
and Daughters, go to the Newburyport Library, because that's not what we do. It's, if we happen to know something, I'd be glad to share it, but I have a standard response I just paste in now because I get so many of them. This was to you.
Trustees. I contacted the trustees and the Historical Society looking for the 2006 cultural report from the trustees, Old Town Hill. You don't happen to have a copy of that, do you?
No.
Because, well, no one else does either. And if you go online, you can get their histories of all their properties, nothing but Newbury. And I know this document because I've used it before, but unfortunately, I was
We're
using
in a
it for...
black hole.
I
What
only
year
did
is
3
it?
pages.
2011?
2006.
2006.
And there happens to be, I had the map from there, and they have the mill site that they're gonna do that project, which they don't have it on here. The only thing they list as important is the bridge on Newman Road, which isn't important anymore because they redid it,
Yeah.
right. So they have no other historical significance in the area. But they really should have that mill site. That's what they're ripping out, the mill site.
Yeah.
And they have
And that's-
nothing.
That still has a
And they-
dam or a berm or something. Right.
A berm, and I actually, if you want to read it, I actually have the contract to build it is in here. And they give everything. So this report, this was done for the trustees and Mass Fish and Wildlife, and they have no historical significance.
That's sad.
They don't even cite their own report.
That's weird.
So I emailed them, and then I actually talked to them, and she said it was going to be weeks,
Of course.
because it's 6 to 8 weeks as they're busy. And she did offer me an appointment to go in this summer. And I think we all need this report, because it is extensive. There's a lot of stuff on it, and it might help us with the 400th down the road.
Is the
But-
cultural portion? Is this the cultural report?
This is just a piece of it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I remember reading about the mill when I did it, because it was my grandfather's, 2 of my grandfathers,
Okay.
right? And it said how significant it was, because it had burnt to the ground, all 3 mills, and kind of capped itself, and it was left. They built 100 rods upriver to where Knight's Crossing is. And the woman who did this report, her name's Electra, I was told by the museum that she is excellent. Like, she's very thorough, she does a really good job.
Still around?
I don't know, but Sharon knows her, and she's trying to help me find it at the museum. I've got their call number, but she still couldn't find it. So until we get that back, I know that there's nothing you can save there, because it's gone. But we might be able to go in there, once they strip it clean, see if there's any kind of foundations in there, or put a metal detector in there. No one has done nothing.
That's
Since
my
the
first,
fire.
my thought was metal detector immediately.
And I have, it burnt in 1813,
Ooh.
and it's been capped and untouched since.
Oh, man.
No,
So,
treasure chest.
but
Yeah.
what bothers me is that the trustees don't include it in this. So I want to see that. And
So-
I called 2 weeks ago. It was going to be 6 to 8 weeks before the trustees could get it to me. Sharon emailed me today, and she said she's going to look again Monday.
When's the
And
work
I
supposed to happen?
contacted her 2 weeks ago.
When's the work supposed to happen? When do they?
Well, that's just it. I was hoping Jan brought the whole packet. I didn't print out the whole packet.
Oh, this?
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Yeah,
see.
because you asked me to.
I don't see a due date. They're asking for our input.
Okay.
Did I just give you that?
No, this is a few pages that I printed out at home. You can see here the scope of the work. And I've got so much on this mill anyway. But the yellow, and just so happens today,
Yeah, so here's your copy.
thank you. Today,
Did you ask
On-
me for one too?
today on
Did you
Newburyport,
ask me
on
for this?
Which one is- Oh,
today on the New Read.
So literally right off, I need to look over there more.
On the
I saw
History
that.
Buffs today, this painting, but that you can see in the mill in the background.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and this is on, right next to my house,
Oh,
my
that's
property,
it.
Yeah.
that the hens are sitting on. But I've got all kinds of stuff on it. This is all on the mill. I got the whole book on the mill. So, it just,
You've been
it's a,
milling
just,
around,
it's
have you?
it's a little bothersome to me that they say that there's no, there is.
Yeah, see the
And if we can just put a metal, I've got somebody that would do the metal detecting for nothing, and he's professional.
See this in there?
Yeah,
I found that a couple of years ago. I don't
So it's
remember
right
where I
where-
found it.
the berm, if you read this, they talk about the berm
Yep.
and the fill, the gravel, and so that's what they're gonna be taking out. So I think it's worth us walking it after they strip it.
Do we know, we don't know when that's happening.
Now, I'm gonna have to read this whole thing. Again, on my phone,
I'm
I
all
was trying
for
to.
it. I'll get out there and that's a situation where like, you know,
We should metal detect. what
Metal
they're
detect. I've got
stripping,
someone
what
who would
they're-
do
I mean,
it.
What they're stripping out, too.
I've got someone who would do it.
Yeah.
well, where are they
bet
gonna
you
put
the
that?
guy
Are they
from
gonna
the
like dump it
Lower
all in a
Green.
truck or something and truck it away?
I have no idea what the, and they calling it the old Hay Street barrier removal. Well, they ought to be calling it the old Pearson Mill, 'cause that's what it was.
For better
What's it
sense.
go back to 1697? That's when they built it?
So why are they saying this yellow is impeding the river?
Because they blocked it off. There's a berm and stuff in there.
In the river?
No, the river's open, but
You put a berm
They
in so
put a
that,
berm
so that it
in.
would hold the water back so they could
see how skinny they
route
made
it through
it?
the mill
Yeah.
Yeah,
when the tide
so they want to
comes in.
take it all out.
So at high tide, this fills up.
Fills up and
And
then
then
they
at low
drain
tide, they can
it
use
about the back
draining that
door.
water as power
Yeah.
from the mill.
Yep, yeah, I
Which
got
is,
that.
which is a good idea,
Clever, yeah.
but
So are they just disturbing this area
no,
here?
all the yellow,
Well, they're just gonna take, why do they need to remove all this?
because
If that's the restriction
it's
there?
all filled. It's all filled, all that, I guess.
I like wanna pull over there and like walk it, cause it's like, you drive by that little spot so fast, it's hard to
And
rubberneck
and
it.
they, and they have, there's little orange tags on the trees
Okay, and those
the
are all
market.
coming out?
Yeah.
that mark the road, where the road was.
Okay.
Who owns the property?
Trustees.
Trustees.
That's why I'm so confused that they don't include it in,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, trustees. Right.
but I think we all need that report. Because as you saw, how many properties are on that? There's a lot. And come the 400th, maybe we can use some of those to our advantage. Because there's a lot on here. There's 22 places they,
What is that
and
from?
I'd mark more now. They don't have the Jackman property on here, the book was just published about. They blew right through that piece and put that new observation tower thing in. So, you know, we should know, we are now, I think, getting notified when they do something. But we weren't back then, when they blew through there. We just, yeah, we all would benefit, I think. Or any of our open space. What are green belts? What's the historical significance in their properties? Who collects these? Is it the cultural committee? Cultural, what do they call it? Do they call it a commission in
Not sure.
town? Or is it open space? Do they keep I asked Martha Taylor if she had a copy. She didn't have it. So it seems to reason we should have these reports from all of the open space.
Yeah.
And I just don't know who I could
Well, I mean,
contact them.
the open space in this town, they have to have they need to be permitted, they need to be under control.
Was trustees' new project, was that under control? We did know about it because I went to the site when they walked it.
Right.
It didn't make any difference.
Okay.
I wonder if we could get a grant to hire somebody to go out to do what you just described. described.
Or even if I, you know,
To
if I could
document
find
that
out, well, who knows? Someone on open space, maybe they've thought of that and have those reports.
Yeah.
Or the cultural commission or committee or whoever they are. I don't remember what they call themselves. I mean, I could contact them and see if they have any. Martha's the only one I asked. She didn't have it.
Right.
So I'm hoping to get it. As soon as I get it, I can do some kind of response, or I'd rather do a response and show it to you, all of you before I do it. But so I'm just waiting on that information,
Okay.
and hopefully it'll be any minute that I get it.
This come out of your packet?
Yes.
One I gave you?
Yeah.
That's the last graphic, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of copies.
Oh, there it is, last in the description.
It's from the beginning.
Wow, that's a big chunk of land
Yeah. Never know what's going
there. It's at
on.
the
Yeah,
end,
that
at the
floods-
end of Newton.
That floods
Right.
over there
Oh,
too. That comes
that's-
over the road right there now. Never used to, but it does now.
Okay, what do we want to do?
Schoolhouse? Oh, Jan's
Well,
got,
we got an email from Barrett Planning Group, which is where Jen Doherty is now. From Mass Historical Commission,
Mhm.
so we
Oh.
know where she is.
yeah. What is it?
Fun.
Oh, she's just saying that?
It came from Barrett Planning Group LLC, and it has her new,
Oh,
Contacts,
okay,
everything.
oh, I see. Was it sent to us from by her?
Not
it
business.
was sent from to the Historical Commission. You know, the website we have.
But what's it about?
It's letting us know where she is now.
Oh, it is, so that was the intent of the communication, that's
With
cool.
the addition of Jen Doherty as preservation planner, the Barrett Planning Group is pleased to announce we are now available for local historic preservation planning projects.
There you go, okay.
And then we now have a .com to get her at, or a phone number, which is nice. I liked speaking with her. She was always
Helpful.
interested and helpful and very pleasant. We got an email from HP Macintosh Photos, who, I don't know why, so they thought we might be interested in this fire in Portland, Maine.
Oh. Okay. Just,
Macintosh was from Newburyport.
Yeah,
That's
he
probably
made a
why.
trip and took a picture, I guess, of this fire that was happening, and so he
Okay.
sent it to us. So it was nice of them to think of us, include us in that. And two of our members are up for re-election this year. Our commissions are over as of June 30th.
10 years? Woo!
you've been doing it for 10 years?
Well,
Yeah.
we started like a week apart or something, I think. We were still meeting in the library in the big room there.
Mm-hmm.
10, does that mean I've been here more than 10?
I don't know,
I think I was here before you.
probably. Was he?
Time flies.
Oh, great one.
Written in chronological order, Lon was here first.
Yeah,
I don't remember what year it was.
But I don't have that recorded.
Yeah.
so, just so you'll know, so if you want to, if you're going to re-up, I have a little quickie email you can use if you'd like it to send, because you have to send it to the board to get put on the agenda to.
Yeah, throw it to me, I guess.
You were so much
You'd
fun.
be so lonely without us, you know it, so, you know. And then there's me.
I'd like to think that you also
Yeah, then it's
like
you.
to be
It's
tortured
me.
by us.
Yeah,
I'm up too.
Where are the shackles? We're gonna keep you here.
What is this? I lost the complete thread of this whole thing. Oh, so I went to the lovely meeting the other night. If you watch it on
Selectmen's meeting,
the Selectmen / Finance Committee meeting,
okay.
that got over at 5 minutes of 10.
Oh, thrilling.
I hadn't had supper yet.
Oh,
so it was
no.
really thrilling.
Oh, no.
And I kept going, shh, shh, shh.
Thank you for going.
You get delirious.
I
and it's like
mean, I didn't know that that was gonna be discussed.
I
And
didn't
had
know
2 other
that it wasn't
commitments.
going to be discussed.
Well,
That's,
that's
I'm
good.
so glad I went. So they said in that meeting that the capital planning part starts in November. And the budget hearings start in January. So the end of March is when all the money issues should be decided. So last I checked, we were not at the end of March yet. So to be continued, and I guess Chrissy heard them checking to make sure the thing was, and she could hear my voice in the background. I said, oh no, really? She goes, because they took a break, and I'm like, can you hurry this up? I need to go to Market Basket and get birdseed. What's taking so long? I forgot they could hear me because I wasn't at the mic.
Right.
So it's too funny. So, you never know. But it was, because it was a joint meeting, so, but it was, they went through all the zoning stuff and everything that's gonna be on the warrant. It was a long evening. It was very interesting, but very long. So I have here, from my days as the assistant town clerk, a list of all the people who were on the 375th anniversary committee. And I noticed that they were all dissolved in 2011. So I'm looking through the select board meeting minutes from 2011, and I think I started with December, I'm going backwards, I think I'm in May, and to see if I can see any reference to the 375th money getting moved to the Historical Commission.
But
But
the money was in a private checking account. But we reported the numbers to the town every year. It was the 375th committee checking account. And at some point after the new town administrator came on board, they said that that money needs to be in the town account and not somewhere private. Probably very close to when she started her first term.
it was the town administrator before her, wasn't it?
It wasn't, whoever it wasn't, no.
It was
it
a
was-
gentleman.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was done. If that helps you at all.
Well, I've already seen, I've seen reference to him, so I thought, and then Tracy started like in the middle of the year or something, or no, because her thing is up this year, the end of June. Her term is up the end of June this year.
I don't
So,
know, that's all I can, I
It's
can't
very-
remember, that's 25 years ago.
yeah, no kidding. But this is the folk. So, this is everybody that was on it. Barbara Rogers, Bert
I was on
Noyes,
the agricultural committee at the time.
you, Chris, Edward Russell, Jim Cunningham, Marsha Pierce, Peg Plummer, Richard Cunningham, very Cunninghamy, Robert Brown, he's nodding, Ward Westhofer,
Westerhoff. West,
What's that?
Westhofer,
mhm.
okay. Sorry, sir, I messed your name up terribly. And Robert Brown, I think that's everybody, yeah. So they had the 2009, that people were appointed in 2011, that they were, their term was ended. So, interesting info, you know, you gotta love that historical stuff.
Okay, any more correspondence?
I don't remember. I did find, you know, it's funny, you said to find the report. Send the report for the request for information. I'm like, what request for information? I wrote it. It's on the website. I felt like a big dork. Oh, well, you know. Annual town meeting is at Triton, 6:30 to 10,
You told us about
Tuesday,
April.
April 29th, just in case anybody needs the info. It's also, I believe, out on the town website by now. This is the Chrissy stuff, Mr. McIntosh.
So it
was
starts
there.
at 6, so you gotta be there at like 5:30.
It starts at 6:30.
All right, so 6 p.m. Let's see. Okay.
Bigger venue this time, huh?
I don't think I've.
No, it was at Triton
Since I've
last
been
year.
here.
Oh,
97.
I thought it was
Really?
at the round school.
No, it hasn't been at the round school for
We
a
haven't
few
gone every
years.
year. We started going after a few years since we've lived in
I haven't
Butterfield.
been in how long?
I guess.
That's not true, I've been there.
You've been to Triton? The last 2 or 3
Yeah,
have been
they've
at
been in
Triton.
Triton.
Okay,
Let's not
Let's-
go into that hole.
Okay.
roof update. I don't think there's anything changed other than they're starting in May. Jack asked me about the shingles. I said, I don't know. I gave him our choices for the shingles, gave him everything in our wills, and handed it to the town facilities chief. Rich, how about the windows?
A couple of weeks ago, I reached out to James for an update on the windows, and I got crickets. I haven't been by there in about a week. Last time I went was like a week and a half ago, and
They're
they
not
they
up.
were still boarded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
drove
was checking because
by-
it looked
what
like
day is
maybe
this?
some of the
What's
plywood
today?
coming loose, but I
Yeah.
think they just had trouble
Yep.
setting it up there.
When was that?
I drove by and I turned and I was at the stop sign and I like zoomed in to take this picture because what day was this?
It was there when I was on my way to the meeting. Oh, it's still not, they're not in.
The 1st, today's the 13th.
Now, they
Yeah.
put them up
And it was
to
after a
be,
windy day, so I was made me notice. I'm like, is that from the wind?
so the plywood was put up to protect them for the winter?
The
Just
plywood was
so-
put up to replace the windows until the windows can be brought back in.
Okay. So, but are the frames still there? And they were putting new glass in? I mean, it's been a while since we've really
So
talked
they,
about this.
what they did
and-
was they pulled the soffits and the
Sashes.
frames on the inside.
Yeah.
They pulled the sashes out and brought them to their shop.
Okay,
And they put plywood up to keep the weather out of the building.
so the entire windows
Yeah,
took a trip?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
right.
So as soon as the weather is a little better, I assume would be a better time to put them back in
Well, I don't know.
with the 90-mile-an-hour winds
I
we've
mean,
been having.
they've had them for quite a while now, so I'll reach out to James again. The same email that I reached out to James about the windows, I also described what we want to do with the Father Stone. And I sent him pictures and I told him, you know, how far, exactly where we want to move it to and everything else, what the situation is. And again, I haven't heard back from him, so.
Probably waiting for it to be warmer.
Yeah, well, I know, but it's very unusual for him not to reply like same day.
Yeah, he's been, you
So,
know.
so
I mean,
I
I
hope
went
there's
back,
nothing up.
when I went to with the stone that came down,
Yeah.
the milestone, when I went into town hall the next, like a day after that happened or whatever, somebody said to me, so-and-so was just in here, the guy that's on the trustees for the settlers, he goes, whoever that woman was, she must really know somebody, because I never saw anything happen so fast.
He told me that. He told me that too. I don't know who she was, but boy, he was here in a minute. 'Cause
I'm always grateful for whatever they do for
Yeah.
us, because, you know, I mean, how are we gonna keep fixing, you know, holes in the ceilings from the woodpeckers and stuff down
They
there?
did reopen Orchard Street, so
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good, yeah. It's down to one lane, but,
Is it?
Yeah.
yeah,
And you gotta slow down.
you got the stop
It's
sign,
pretty,
they
it's
stop.
pretty uneven and bumpy.
Yeah,
They,
It's actually
no,
the
they
stop sign.
patched it.
Yeah.
they still have, I was there today, they still have the stop signs.
That on one side,
I don't drive down there.
Was it?
Well,
coming up. I don't see one coming back.
Oh, okay.
It's weird.
the
But-
stop is at the bridge.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah, but
right
only
up
on the,
there.
going towards,
There's
or,
two.
Oh, the eastbound.
yeah.
Yesterday there were two.
I don't remember seeing one coming back, was that, not that that's neither here nor there, but they did,
So it means you ran it.
they did patch those holes that were there
Yeah.
after the last few
Oh,
storms, so.
I got a video to put on.
Okay,
So the windows, we'll see.
any other unfinished
Roof,
business?
we're not gonna do yet, so.
None that I can think of.
Schoolhouse macris form. What is the first step to that?
I think I have a copy of the old one.
What old one? I have the old one, but they were
I've
working
got
on
a
it with
folder on
the,
my computer where I've been collecting all this, as much as information as I can on the schoolhouse. But I haven't, and then I've got a copy of Macris that somebody had started.
Right.
like
I've got-
1975 or
yeah, I've
something,
got
from
that,
the old,
so
one
I-
of the old historical
I
commission
just haven't done
groups.
anything with
Yeah, it was
Because I
Liz
thought, I
Armstrong.
think, I thought that was gonna be part of getting the local historic district,
Created.
that they were gonna try to, they were gonna get this work, getting the schoolhouse, because the Spinea folks can do it like nothing
Let me
compared to
check.
the
I
rest
didn't-
of us.
it. I'll ask. I provided with a bunch of photographs of it. And I think I gave them the draft Macris, the one that we found.
Yeah, because I don't even know,
Because that was pretty complete. I don't
I
understand
I
why.
don't know why, and I don't know where it went, who it went to or anything, so, and none of those people are around anymore, so,
Yeah.
I've got a letter. Do you have a
Yeah.
letter from Liz that, I don't have it with
Well,
me.
my guess is Chris was probably working on that, or not. Well, not in 75.
No.
Liz Armstrong, Liz Armstrong was working on it.
Oh, okay.
And I've got a letter at home about it, with her, talking about it. And I talked to her about it one time. I'll have to read the letter again. It doesn't tell me anything, like why it wasn't submitted, or if it was submitted and rejected, or,
yeah, it was
But-
submitted, but
Uh,
that's it. It like fell in a black hole, or else somebody got information and they're not around anymore, and, because not, it was like, well, it's a while ago
She
now.
said
A few
Patsy
years ago
Brown. I
now,
think-
somebody,
Patsy Brown, I don't know if she's even around it.
well, somebody sent me a whole big envelope full of stuff from when, their mother died, and it was from, they were on the historical commission way back.
Oh, really?
I was like, okay, thank you. I felt badly that she had.
So is,
I don't know who was working on it
so the
either.
form we have to fill out is all electronic now, and it's multiple pages long,
It's
and
tons of information and
Yeah.
historical stuff, the deeds, all this stuff, and then, I mean, the funny thing was, is that like, somebody was looking to know what the address was.
Yeah, what is the address?
I forget, I have it at home, I wrote it down at home, it's actually on the town website.
well, it'll be on the deed. If there's a deed, is there a deed? Because it's municipal property, then it might not be. a
Well,
deed.
they actually gave the road a name, right?
The run
It was a
No, that
number.
was the erroneous email, address that somebody wanted a package for.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and I was like,
There was a name, there was a.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
something.
but when I typed it in, the schoolhouse came up on Google Maps.
Well, yeah,
When I typed that address.
but it made no sense. It's no sense human
No,
there, so,
it's not, I know it's not an official road.
but
Ah, the corner of Newman and High.
Well,
I'll
I
look
think
for
the
the
first
past thing
step,
again and see what we can find.
should we, can we print out the blank form with the required information so we can go over it and start getting rough draft stuff all in one folder? Maybe what Lon's got.
I've
He's
got
got all the
Lon's got.
details and the book from what's his
And
name
the
with all
book,
the
the old book.
information and all that stuff, so.
Oh, I-
Mr.
well,
Lon has
I can
it.
bring, I could bring it to our next meeting.
Bring the stuff to the next
Yeah.
meeting, and maybe for the next meeting, you can print, give us an idea of what they're looking for, print the blank form out.
There's things to fill in, but when you actually look at the pages beyond the form, it varies, depending on how much information you've got. We'd have a lot on the schoolhouse, but in like Little House, but we wouldn't have a lot on like my house, that type of thing. So it depends on the house and how much information there is.
Because I thought, at one meeting I had asked, and it was about Spinea Health, the folks helping you get this, and you said they were working on it.
Yeah, is Bethany
But
on
the-
that committee?
Yeah.
She's done those, she's done.
They've,
She's
Spinea
Yeah,
people have
she's
done it
very
for,
busy.
I mean, they did the Set and Tavern thing. It's like this thick.
Is it
Yeah,
really?
that's what we should have on the schoolhouse. something
Yeah.
that big.
So it's a lot of work and it's a lot of time, and I don't know, who's gonna
Does-
dedicate
does
themselves to
anybody
all
that-
of it. If, I don't even know the protocols at this point anymore. They keep changing things.
Do you, does anybody besides you and I know about that letter we got from the museum and library group about
Yeah,
filling out this form
I-
immediately?
I
It was part of
know.
the meeting last month.
Hmm?
I read the form for part of the meeting last month.
Oh, okay, oh, we did, okay.
Yeah, so I went on to look at the survey because I just wanted to see
Yeah,
what the survey was. Well, you had to take a survey to see if you qualified.
Do you remember this?
So I took that survey, which was very simple.
yeah.
And then when they sent me the survey, I was like, oh, wait a minute, Jan.
I
And
know,
it
because
doesn't
they
even-
wanted, then I listened to yours. I read, he even sent me an email, said they think we're a museum,
Yeah, I think we're a museum.
like a legal museum,
Yeah.
like that we get funding for a
Yeah, see,
museum.
none of
So
that
it's
was in
really
the
have
application
nothing to do
to
with
apply.
us.
They're trying to justify their existence,
Yeah.
is what they're doing. They took a $200 million cut in their budget this year, so they must be on Doge's radar that they're going to be, disappeared. And I think they're just trying to gather, ammunition to say, look, you don't want to get rid of us. Look what we do. Look at all of the groups that we cover.
What have they done for us lately?
You know, they like want to know how many people come, you know,
What
how
did
many
you do for
people,
work last
week? Oh,
what
yeah, you
we
wouldn't
have
believe
for
the
things
information
there,
they
and
have.
I'm like, a couple of times I got stymied trying to do it, so I think I said, you know, he was looking at it, and I said, what did you do? And then
I sent an
I
email back
knew
to
you would
them
do it, I'm
No,
like,
no,
saying,
the survey I
are you
didn't
sure you
touch.
got
It
the
was
right
too-
place? You know, we've got a one-room building with no heat and with two light bulbs in
That's
it.
staffed by
and-
volunteers.
Yeah,
Right.
right, with volunteers. It's not a museum. Said we've got some books there and some old material, but
I'm not
Yeah.
saying
It's
for
not-
a museum.
Oh,
it's
no,
not-
no,
qualified.
it's
and
not-
we don't have
that type of
a
museum.
and there was the
budget.
dollar thing, how much money, it's
Yeah.
like,
40,000, you make more or less than
like,
40,000.
yeah, how about,
Last, no, we like I said, it was
we
very
don't even make
simple.
4,
And it said,
my 40.
no,
I
I
told
told
them, I said
them we're
our
owned by the
budget-
town, we're only open
Yeah.
this many volunteers.
So
We
she
still
had already
qualified.
started it, he had started it, I looked at it, I said,
No.
I'm listening to Lon who says they're fishing to get stuff, and I'm like, I'm not getting involved in this, this is enough.
They're
Do we
just
have
trying,
anything
they're trying to
else
justify their
Before I
existence.
do show and tell for the night,
No.
Oh, I was
Oh,
hoping
you're
somebody
gonna
was
do
gonna do
show and
that.
tell?
show and tell
Wait
for
a
the
minute,
night.
is that it?
Oh,
Are we
that was the
going
bottom of the
in?
list. So this is out of the Howard attic and cleaning. So this is what they call a windproof light that would have been on your sleigh, carriage, or buggy, or farm implement, designed so the wind wouldn't blow it
Oh,
out.
that is so cool.
And it's forward that there's written instructions on the inside. This is 1871 F. Monroe Company hot blast lantern. The chimney of hot air, though, hot air went up, and this is apparently tied, so another lantern would be open at the base, and once the carriage moved, it would blow the flame out.
Makes sense.
So the air, the combustion air went down the tube and went under the burner. This has the magnifying glass on the front. So the down tubes went to the flame, and Fernand and Monroe Manufacturing Railroad Lamps Lanterns of St. Louis, Missouri, 1857, also made candle molds.
Neat.
So that's
That
the
is
story
neat. I've
behind
never
it.
seen one of those.
Wow.
So that
I
was
almost
like
see the
the
candle move.
Yeah.
modernization of the standard barn lantern was continued forward to this.
I thought that was bright.
So you-
That
With the
lens-
amplifier, yeah.
Oh,
Pushes together on the front and clips
Yeah, you might
together.
wanna come back and hold it.
Then it has a spring clip on the back.
oh, that is neat.
So that would go on
the
the
dash.
dashboard of your buggy.
Wow. That is cool.
Why do I not think of a
Imagine
dash?
driving at night,
Right.
that's life. I mean,
That's where your feet were in the front. And it was,
My granddaughter was.
Does that top come down and close that off at the top?
No, it needs air.
no,
But
I
it
don't,
wouldn't run air on the top, it'd run air on the bottom.
Yeah, but
It
that's,
was-
so I think what happens is the air comes in that way, and heats up, then goes through the
So
pipes
it-
and feeds
yeah.
the
So it
bottom.
doesn't blow the flame out,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, so it keeps the flame separate.
That
Pretty
is
cool.
neat.
Hot dog.
So that is tonight's show and tell.
Oh, that's
Well,
cool.
thank you for sharing that.
And it was in your
That's
attic?
It was my father's house, it was in the
Oh.
attic, yeah.
Silly
Are you
me,
still
I was
working on
just
that
bringing
place?
the old
With
memories.
MDF?
Still
Oh, I've seen
cleaning,
that.
truckload after truckload.
neat. Yeah.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Second, Lon on the second,
All right.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.